Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose and this is my out of theater reaction to 28 years later, The Bone Temple. I saw this very early, so I'm like a few hours from actually coming out of the theater. This movie comes out in I think like practically a month from when I'm recording this, so it's like really early screening. Listen, I'm a fan of the 28 days later, 28 weeks later. Of course, Danny Boyle doing the original. He came back to continue this franchise of 28 years later, which interesting idea. And I actually liked the film. I didn't love it. It had its issues. Some good things about it. It kind of reminded me of what I liked so much about the original. And the ending was ridiculous as the last 2 minutes and all that. So I was concerned about this new one here. My reaction, listen, it's fine. It's okay. I didn't think it was as good as the last one. It's kind of a weird film. This won't be like a full review, but ultimately, this focuses on really two factions. One is Ralph Fiennes, who you saw in the original, of course, with his bone temples and whatever he was going on there, and his relationship with one of the alpha kind of zombie infected individual who you see in the last installment of this. And of course, on the other side, you have those people who came out of the last film, kind of this tracksuit wearing English folk. Kind of a cult-like group, I guess, and they're causing havoc wherever they go. And now the kid who was in the first film, the last film anyway, is kind of involved in them trying to find a way to get out of that situation that he's in. And eventually they interact in the end, including with Ralph Fiennes' character and all that. So, listen, this one it felt weird, to be honest with you. There's some things that really worked, some things that just fell flat. And all, if you're looking for like that kind of zombie infected kind of action or situations that we saw in the previous installments, this movie isn't for you. This is a far departure from that. This is focusing on what's going on, kind of continue this world that's left behind after what happened, 28 years before. But I think it's kind of jarring. There's moments in there you're like, they're kind of laughable. Like, what are we doing here? Particularly Ralph Fiennes early on. Like, I didn't quite get that dynamic that was going on. What was the point of it? It just seems like there was a lot of setup here with no payoff. This is a true middle chapter of what they want to be a trilogy. We'll see if there's a third movie in that, but depends on how well it does. The first one did okay, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of questions unanswered. I liked what it left off. I'll give it that much. I loved where it left off. And I'll leave it at that, not to spoil anything. So that was very cool. And it did enough for me to go see the third one just because of how it ended, and hope that it goes back to the roots of what these films were actually about. In terms of tone and presentation, that horror element, this one just sorely lacked. But, like I said, up and down with this one. If you're a fan of the last one, you probably enjoyed this one. If you're in the middle on the last one, this is probably not going to really change your mind. But, obviously I'm curious to see what you guys thought when you guys go watch it. But again, I thought it was a serious departure from the last film, and I wasn't a big fan of the last one. I was okay. I thought it was fine. All in all, that's kind of my theater reaction of it. Maybe I'll do a full kind of in-depth dive review on this much later on when the embargo lifts. But that said, if you guys go watch it, comment below, let me know where you guys thought of the film. You guys looking forward to a third one? We'll see. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.